So what we're going to be talking about in this video today is the pyramid of wealth. And this is not any Illuminati confirmed style video here, guys. I know when you throw pyramids up, people usually think it's the Illuminati is coming for them. But the pyramid of wealth is actually a video I talked about probably 2 years ago on this channel. And it was one that people were super interested in. But I definitely want to make a couple of points before I get into the main video. So first of all, what I have found about making money as I have earned more and more money and climbed this pyramid of wealth is that you may think that money is like the ticket to happiness, and the more money you earn, the happier you become. And to a certain extent, that is true. But when you reach a certain point, you don't become exponentially happier with the exponential growth of your money. And so what I want to say about money is this. Not having money can be everything to you, because if you don't have money and you're down here in this level of this pyramid, it can really suck. Because all you think about is money or the lack of money, you're working like a dog and you're struggling to make ends meet, and that's all you can possibly focus on. But once you leave that level of this pyramid and you're no longer struggling or fighting for every dollar that you're earning, and maybe once you're up in some of these higher levels where money isn't really your main focus, that is when you realize that money is not everything, and there's so much more out there that you have to find in order to be fulfilled and happy. But not having money can be everything because it becomes your primary focus. Now, the other point I want to make here is, why is it important to understand the pyramid of wealth? And the reason is because of something called your circle of influence. And there's been many different variations of this said. The best way that I can say it is you tend to become the fifth version of all of the 4 people you surround yourself with. And so if you are surrounding yourself with people that are in the lower level here of the pyramid of wealth, the odds are you're going to become the 5th version of that person. And so regardless of your circumstances, where you are right now in your life, you want to find people that are higher up in the pyramid of wealth, just to have a different circle of influence and have people sharing different ideas with you. And you may look at me now thinking that I'm bragging about possibly being higher up in this pyramid of wealth, but I'm telling you guys right now that is not where I started. And I will tell you as we go through this where I started and where I would consider myself to be right now. So first of all, at the very bottom of this pyramid is what we call the public dole. This is people who literally have $0 of income from any other means other than Social Security or welfare or some kind of government assistance. It is not a great place to be. It is not a good living. I know a lot of people say people on welfare live better than us. It's totally bullshit. I've seen it firsthand in some of my other jobs that I've had to have in the past. And I'm telling you, it is not a desirable life, but that is the very bottom of the pyramid, is when you're solely living on public dole and you have no income other than what you're getting from government assistance or disability or something of that nature. Now, one step above that, we have low income plus public assistance. That is people who are earning a very small amount of money, and then they qualify for food stamps or they qualify for WIC or different types of government assistance. They do have some income of their own, but it's not enough for a good living, and so they are getting assistance from the government. That's actually where I started when I was 16 years old. My mom had food stamps, and that was where we were. Low income plus public assistance. And so I've been able to climb my way up this pyramid, and I feel like I have gotten detached from that a little bit over the last couple of years with what I've experienced with the growth of my business. And a lot of people think that, I was fed from a silver spoon and this, that, and the other. And the truth is, that is not the case at all, because that is where I was, 15 or 16 years old, clipping coupons, helping my mom out, and making the most of the food stamps and trying to stretch every dollar that we could. So as far as income goes, obviously being on public dole means you have about $0 of your own income. And being in this low income plus public assistance category, in most cases, that's like $25,000 or less of earnings per year, qualifies you for some kind of government assistance. Level number 3 is where a lot of people fall, and I'm just going to call this the debt level of the pyramid. This is when you do not qualify for public assistance, but you still do not have enough income to pay for your basic living expenses, and you end up putting living expenses on your credit card. And I'm not talking about clothing, I'm not talking about perfume and discretionary spending items, I mean you have to put gas on your credit card and you have to put groceries on your credit card because you literally do not have enough money for your basic living expenses. One step above that, we have paycheck to paycheck. And I would say this is where the majority of people are that I know and that I see today. And this is people that at the end of the week, they are pretty much out of money and they won't have any more money until the next week when they get their paycheck. And basically any major expense that comes up of maybe $500 to $1,000, that's going on a credit card because they don't have an emergency fund and they are living paycheck to paycheck. Moving up the pyramid now, we have the $0 line. And the $0 line is honestly, as sad as it is, a really good place to be. That means you have no debt and you have a value or net worth of $0. And as sad as that may sound, that's actually a good goal for a lot of people when it comes to their consumer debt or their student loans and all of these different debts they have to pay back. But the $0 line is basically where you owe nothing and you own very little or you own nothing, giving you basically a $0 net worth. And so that's pretty much where I was when I was around 20 years old, graduated college. I went to community college. Thankfully didn't have to take out any student loans because my grandfather helped me out with that. So I started off in my 20s at that $0 line where I had basically no assets but no liabilities either. So moving up now one more level on the pyramid, we have this level, which is where money is not the primary deciding factor in your decisions. And what I mean by that is where you go on vacation, where you go for dinner, the clothing that you wear on your back. The deciding factor is not how much money it costs. And the way you can test this out for yourself is this right here. And maybe you're just frugal, so that's okay if you're just frugal, because that's how I am. But when you walk into a department store, are you looking at the clothing themselves or are you looking at the price tags? Because if you shop by price tag, you are not in this category. You're still shopping by price. And that is your number one deciding factor when making a purchase. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because a lot of people spend way too much money on clothes and random crap like that. So being frugal and being in this category is totally possible. But if you know that you always make your choices for dining, for entertainment based on price, then you haven't made it to this level. But at that level, you will find that, convenience is often the deciding factor, not necessarily money. So convenience or experience. And then moving up here one step higher, we have the financially independent category. And the way I describe financial independence is that what you do with your time is not based on money. And what I mean by that is you don't go to a job if you don't want to, or you don't work when you don't want to because you have created financial independence for yourself. Now, this could be accomplished basically in two different ways. Number one, if you figure out how to make money without your activity, without actively involving your time. Or number two, having so much money saved up or invested that you don't actually have to work for money. So myself personally, it's the latter there. It's the fact that I've built passive income streams and I have people working underneath me that allow me to earn money in a very passive way. And I would say personally, I fall somewhere between these two levels now, of money not being my primary deciding factor and being somewhat financially independent. So if I wanted to take a week off and go on a vacation or just take a week to think or hang out with my cats or anything like that, I have the ability to do that because of the systems that I have in place. Now, personally, I really enjoy working and I work when I want to, but there are times that I really don't want to work. And because I have reached that level, that is the luxury that I have, is the ability to say, I'm going to not work today and I don't have to worry about the money still coming in. And then at the very top of the pyramid here, we have the GW or generational wealth category. And this is essentially when you have so much money, you could never spend it in an entire lifetime. You don't work for the money. It's all just basically, interest income or dividend income or money giving off more money in terms of the growth of your money. And you're living off of that interest or growth. And it's more money than you could ever spend in your lifetime. And it's going to go forward for future generations. Now, this is a major misconception a lot of people have. They think that generational wealth is like the only way to become rich. You're either born rich or you're never going to be rich. And I can promise you guys that is not the case. I am walking living proof of somebody who started off in the low-income public assistance category, and I've worked my way up eventually to the $0 line, graduating college with basically a $0 net worth. and then have moved myself up to somewhere between, you know, the financially independent category and not having the primary deciding factor be the cost of something. So that is the pyramid of wealth, guys. If you want to, let me know in the comment section below where you started and where you are today. And you want to pay attention to this and understand the pyramid of wealth, because you want to know where your circle of influence falls, because you're probably going to become the 5th version of whoever you surround yourself with. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications of future videos just like this. And I hope to see you in the next one.